All right, so hello everyone. Thanks for joining our free online lesson. And for today's, I'm Shafiq Farhan as a product manager at CAD System Senen Berhad. So I will do some demonstration and some introduction about what Autodesk Revit can do, which is we want to focus on the control panel or switchgear or switchboard or anything related. Okay, so for today's, basically, our focus are more focused on the control panel. Okay, first thing first, what we need to know on the control panel and uh, how to create the control panel, first thing. Second thing, how to make in the how to do the arrangement in the layout and what is the best practice and best workflow for the control panel. Okay, first thing, so the importance of this control panel, if you want to make it this control panel as a one object, then you can do in a Revit or you can do from other tools. But if you want to make it this control panel as a parametric modeling, so parametric modeling means this control panel you plan to have a very various sizes. So for the various sizes, what we need to do, basically, we need to focus on creating that families inside the Revit, because when we do inside the Revit, we can set all the limit and all the dimension inside the Revit itself. Okay, so the normal step, okay, to start with the creating control panel, first we need to create families using the existing template. Okay, but the issue here, when you want to start creating control panel using the electrical item or using the template that given by Autodesk itself, so they will have a lot of option. Okay, which one we need to choose? Okay, that will be the first option, first problem. Second problem, the second things that we need to consider was about the plane, because all these plane we can do parameter later on. Okay, so we can also assign all the parameters such as the type parameter or the instant parameter, and we will add the connector. That will be the idea on creating control panel. So I will jump to Revit. So in this case, if you check on my sample layout, this will be example of control panel. So the control panel that I show you and the things that I click right now is a control panel wall base. So what does it mean on the wall base? So this object must be put on the wall. Okay, must be inserted on the top of wall. Okay, while for the second one is a floor base. Okay, when I create on this floor base, what will happen basically in this floor base? uh, Anytime I want to insert this object, I need to make sure that these things are created, are, are placed on the floor. Okay. Or some cases, you want to make it, the control panel is very random. You can put anywhere. That one, you can do your setup first. So to start with creating this example, so first thing first, we need to understand on creating 3D modeling in Revit, creating families. So when you try to create the 3D families, so you just go to here, click families. So inside this one, I will use the matrix generic model. So if I want to do a wall base, mean that later on anything happen must be the wall. Okay, so must be put on top of wall. Okay, so if I will choose the floor base, anything later on, they must be in the floor. Okay, so if you want to make it very random, a very subject to any location that you plan, you can use this generic model without any base. Okay, so I will choose this one. Okay, first thing, when you plan to create the reference, the Revit families, the first item that you need to consider will be this button, reference plane. I'm sharing the right one. Okay, correct. So I click on this reference plane, just create one, just create two, and just create another one. Okay, so to make it this item with a parameter, so we can use this concept, align dimension. So click 1 and 2 and 3, click anywhere, press equal. So now my reference on the left and the right will be always equal. So later on, we will do one more dimension, which is this area and this part. So I have two types of dimension in here. So this will be my length dimension and this will be my width dimension, for example. So for my length dimension, I want to make it, this have their own value. So when I click on this button, we can click on this create parameter. So just key in the what is the parameter name. For example, this one will be the length. So they will have two types of creating Revit families parameter. First one is a type. Okay, type means you want to create it specifically for each object. If you're familiar with the AutoCAD, this one we can consider as an AutoCAD block. Okay, and for the instant means all item. Okay, for example, this type, when I change that value, it will change all that have a same families and type. Yeah, the second one, if I choose instant, for example, this idea for I want to make it this object very random. Okay, this object A, object B, and object C are not consistent in that distance. Okay, so I can use for this step, I choose type first, click OK. Okay, and then I click another one, I will create a width. DTH. Okay, so when I hit on this symbol, families type, so I just go to here to change the value. So to make it more clear or more easy to handle, so what can I do? Basically, I can do something like this. So I will create a new type. So this will be my 2000 times 1000. Okay, so 2000 times 1000 should be, I will need to. Okay, the second one will be different height, but with this one with same length but different width. Okay, 2600 become something like this. Okay, done. So what will happen now? They will have two options. When I click, I try to change the type from 1000 and from 600, it will become, it will change on my model. Okay, quite straightforward to make your 3D. You can use extrude. So I will use extrude, go to here, rectangle, go to this button. Make sure you lock all the line that created, because we already create the dimension. If you not lock, so what will happen if you change the dimension, the line will not follow. Okay, then I hit close. We can go to the front view. For this front view, we also can set the limit or the the reference plane again. So from here, I will go to this create tab, reference plane again. So I will create something like this, 1, something like this, 2. So we will do 2 dimension. The first one will be this dimension, which is the sill height. And then the second one will be the height. Okay, so to make sure that this shape will follow, I want to make it this shape always follow my box. What I can do, I can use align, click this line, click this object, then lock. Now, same process for the bottom side, align this line and this line, create lock. Okay, so just create a new parameter again. This will be the height. Okay, this will be the height. And this will be the sill height. Okay, this one I'll make it manual. Everything I make it manual. Okay, for this sill height, I want to make it as an instance. Okay, why? Because later on, I want to make sure that all components can have different sill height. Okay, and then just hit OK. So when I check on the 3D, when I check here in this shape, this will be the 3D model. It's quite simple first. Okay, later I will try to make it more complex shape. Something look like this. So go back to my top view. Okay, so I go back to this view, this reference plane. So I want to control on this length. So what I need to do, I just need to make it a new reference plane to make it, they have some door location over there. Okay, so this object, what I need to do, I just try to drag first because this object already locked. So we need to remove the constraint. Okay, or the most easiest way, because this one is in the sketch, just go back to the extrusion, click, drag again, make sure you do align. This one and this one, lock. Finish. Okay, so you will have some gap for your door. So for, in this case, the door, for example, have a specific value that never change. So I want to change the value here. To change the value of our parameter or our dimension, you cannot double click in here. Okay, so to change the dimension here, you need to click on the line that you plan to move. Okay, if I click on this one, means I plan to move this one, the bottom line. But if I want to move the top line, I just need to click on the top line, click here and key in the value 50. Okay, so now already done. So I will go back to my front view. Okay, this will be my box. Okay, so this will be my full box. Okay, I want to create a door, quite straightforward door first. Okay, so the step that I need to do was, I need to create a reference plane if you plan to have any gaps. Okay, so for example, I want to make it more gaps in here. So just go to reference plane, click one gap here, and then another gap in here. Okay, so then I just need to do dimension. So 1, 2, and 3, make it equal. And then 1 and 2, this will be the gap that I plan to have. So just click, change the value here. Okay, so normally when you do equal, bit complicated to do a value. Okay, so I just need to change in here. So this area, I plan to have at least 15 mm. So just draw a new extrusion rectangle again. Make sure you lock on all area. Okay, just click lock 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hit OK. Okay, repeat the same process from another side. If you want to do a mirror also can, but I will love to do this method because easy for me to lock. And done. So when you hit OK, go back to the top view reference level. Oh, so now I notice that this object are become something like this. Okay, it already intersect each other. Okay, so this object basically our focus was I want to put in here. So what I need to do basically I just need to make sure I go to here and then make it lock. And we can also go to here. In case you want to make it, they have some gap here, then just make it gap. If you have reference plane, it's much more better. Okay, so I will like to make it, the size will be 970. 970. Right? So same process like this one. So 1000, 970. Okay, since this area don't have dimension, later I will have some problem. If I change the width, right? So this one will be a major problem for us. So to reduce that problem, yeah, for sure we need to have the reference plane. Just create one reference plane, create one more dimension in here. So make sure that you have this value 15, for example, and then do it align again. Align this line and this line, lock. Okay, this line and this line, lock. Done. So let's check on our 3D model. So my 3D model already becomes something like this. If you plan to have you want to insert all the material, just go to this one. You can insert the material. Okay, so why I choose using Revit? Because of only this thing. So because I plan to have this dimension, I want to control all the things by my own. Okay, if I don't want to change this one by my own, I can import, I can ask my supplier to give me the 3D model and I can insert in here. Okay, so this one I try to edit because I want to change the value. Wait, let me change the value, 1500. Okay, this one I edit first. 1500. Okay, and then for the second size, also I make it the same. X 1500. Okay, so this one I just change to 1500. So when I hit apply, so it becomes something like this. So if you notice that they have something that does not follow what you want, that means that your object here are not locked. Okay, so how to solve? Get straightforward or straight away, just go back to here, then try to align again. Lock. Okay, so if you go to the front view or just save, this one have some problem in here. Okay, so the height, oh, this object are not followed. So this one should be, so this one that I need to edit the extrusion. No. This one, I just need to go to here and lock it. So go back to the 3D. So change the value, it will directly follow. Okay, so if you want to create more sizes, no issue. So you just go to here, 1500 times 800 times 750. Done. So this one we just need to follow 1500 800 750 750. Okay, done. Hit apply. Okay, so this will be the shape. Okay, you can create your own, follow your standard. Okay, the next thing that we need to consider was on the connector. Where is the point that you plan to have the conduit location? So if you want to insert the conduit location, the best practice is by using this method. Okay, so if you have the idea that to change the conduit location, so you can make it parameter also. But if you want to make it fixed, then what you need to do, just make it fixed. Okay, so for example, I want to make it fixed. So what I need to, what I plan to do, basically, I need to do one thing first. So I just need to go to this area, create one line. Okay, and then I will do parameter again. One, where's the, okay, the front one, the left, middle, and here, and equal. Okay, so this line will be always equal. So anything happen, it will become always equal. Okay, so next I want to create the extrusion, might be a little bit extrusion here. So then I want to make it center, circle center here. So with 12.5, 12.5. Okay, so the depth, I just make it depth around 3 mm. So let's check on our 3D. Some cases it will not appear because that things are draw at the middle of our 3D model. Okay, to view it, what you can do, you just can change this value. Okay, change the visual style or the detail here. So make it something like this. So make it this and lock here. Lock. Okay, so then you can change the value to 0.3. 0.3. Okay, something like this. Okay, so let's study on the 3D model and what will happen. So when I go back to here, if I change the design, okay, I change the size from here to here. So now they will have problem because of my connector, because the dimension of the length are reduced from 2000 to 1500. Okay, so to solve that problem, yeah, we need always to have the RP, reference plane. Okay, so that's why the RP in Revit is very important if you plan to have a parametric model. Okay, or you can basically, you can lock the dimension, the depth, you can also lock. So, but my case, I always use this method. So just go to here, change the value. This one, I make it 3. And then use align. AL, this line and this line. Sorry. Align this line and this line, lock. Okay, so go to the 3D view and we can insert the connector. So go to create, they will have conduit connector, then can insert in here. So just change the value of our conduit, the diameter of connector, 25. So later on, when you try to place or insert this object into your 3D model or 3D project, so what will happen? It will become something like this. Wait, close inactive first. So this one, I try to insert on my 3D model. Okay, so I just try to insert in here. Okay, and then I just try to save the file and so on. Okay, so now I can insert anywhere. So when I hit insert, this object will be grayed out at first point. So why? Because of this object, we did not set up this one as a mechanical or electrical item, which is currently I'm using the mechanical template. Okay, currently I'm using the MEP template, the system template. So make sure that you open back your file, or big tips here, if you already make it gray out, go to the architectural, change it, click on this object, edit families. Okay, so from here, just click on this family, category, and parameter. Change from generic model because at first we are choosing the template generic model. Okay, I will like to choose as electrical equipment. Okay, panel board or anything, you just can give the name. Switchboard, panel board, or anything, just give the name. Then just hit OK. So load into project again. Okay, override. Then you can go back. This one I changed back to mechanical. So now this one can click already. Okay, so good things here, you can just directly create conduit in here. Okay, so to make it more conduit, then you need to make a lot of conduit for your 3D models. Okay, so that will be the things on how we create the concept. So let's go on the key point on here. Oh, forgot to mention that because this object I already create as a type, right? So this type, when I go to here, I change this one to new size, it will automatically change. It will automatically change because we are using type parameter. So for the instant parameter just now, when I click on this button, so when I go to here, okay, so you can also change this value. The seal height, you can just directly change to here. For example, we want to make it a bit lower. So 500, 500. So already drop a little bit. Okay, so they will have some formula that not really nice in our model. So we need to check again. Okay, so the next thing is about advanced technique, how to design the control panel in an advanced way. Okay, so when you plan to do normally when you want to insert the control panel, for sure supplier will have the concept idea, the 2D drawing, okay, 2D panel design. Okay, so some cases, some supplier also have a 3D model, but they will not share the Revit file to you. Normally, they will share a step file maybe. Okay, so the nested families, we call it as nested families or the exported file. Okay, so what we can do basically, if you are using Revit 2025, okay, if you are using Revit 2025, you can directly import STP. Okay, if you are using 25. So how? So just go back to my here. So this will be the example that I already import and export here. What I need to do first, when you open this one, I choose the floor-based example. So I just go to this crate, right? Okay, I go to this crate. Okay, and then sorry, I go to this insert tab. I can go to the import cat. So using 2025 only, you will see a step file button. If you are using 24 or below, you can see only until STL. Okay, so you just go to this STP, just click here, open, then can just directly insert in our model. Okay, it will automatically insert. So what you need to do next, just very simple way. So you go to this create tab, go to the conduit connector, mouse over to here. If you cannot click, you just press tab until you get the circle. Okay, until you get the circle. If you get half circle, normally cannot click. But if you have the full circle, you can click already. So just go click here, flip the direction, change the diameter. Only 2025. Okay, take note. Oh, sorry, this one, maybe I'm used 50, right? Or 60. Okay, only 2025. Okay, repeat the same process for all. Okay, for all, for the connector and load into project again. Okay, only for Revit 25. Okay, so what if your project are still currently use the older version? Okay, nothing to be worries. You just need to ask your supplier, give the file instead of step, they give in a 3D.dwg. Okay, or you just get the step file, open AutoCAD, full version is not AutoCAD LT, AutoCAD version, and convert it. So just convert to DWG. Then from this DWG, you can import as a Revit. So the advantage here, no need to purchase any software because AutoCAD already included in the bundle, the collection, the AEC collection. But disadvantage, the file size will be big. Okay, for example, I have one control panel that converted, because when you convert the STP to DWG, it will become into a mesh model. Okay, mesh model, normally the file size will be a little bit bigger. Okay, so the second disadvantage is really hard to get to insert the connector. So why? Because you are importing the mesh model. So when you import the mesh model, you will see a lot of small line. Okay, really hard to get the circle there over there later on. So normally people will create circle and extrude that. Okay, so for option number 2, you can use this one from STP. So supplier already give STP, open an inventor, convert to Revit. So this step will be much more easy, very faster, and file size will be very optimal. But the disadvantage, you need to have license for inventor. Okay, so when you go to here, for example, I have the STP file. Just now, I tried to open the STP file. Okay, so let me try to open the STP file. I click open. So from this folder, I change to STP. So this will be the STP file that I import in Revit just now, right? So when I hit open, right, it will help me to convert the STP to 3D Inventor, which is probably the IM or IPT for Inventor file type. Okay, so then what you need to do next, you just need to do rotate and click on this one button only. So just go to this environment tab, beam content, and can directly click on the electrical connector or conduit connector. Okay, so conduit connector. So just click on this circle, it automatically detect, just flip. Okay. So then you can repeat for a different way, just hit apply and so on. This one much more faster compared to you use the AutoCAD. So after you're done, you can click on this export building component. Okay, I'll try to save first. So export building component. So once I already export the building component, it will become, they will have 3 options. The first option will be RFA, which is Revit Families, what our target. So we can just directly export this 3D model to our Revit. Okay, so later people that use Revit, they can just directly open our file. Okay, so this one I can save as RFA or IFC or ADSK. These 3 things. So RFA for Revit, IFC normally for construction software also. ADSK normally for Plant 3D. Okay, so you can choose either these 3. Okay, so from here, just can use your Revit and then open it. That will be only the step. Okay, quite straightforward here. So what we need to do, basically, we just need to use Inventor. Then Inventor can publish to as a Revit RFA lah. Okay, then the things that I want to share at last part will be, normally people ask electrical control panel, what will be the best solution here? Okay, so what can I suggest here? If you don't have a good skill in 3D modeling, at least you have Inventor to do the conversion only. So you just need to learn on do conversion instead of you need to start create from zero. If you need to have a 3D model that have a parameter, then you need to learn Revit families. So that will be the only idea or the only suggestion that we can suggest. So is there any question? You can chat on our chat section. So while I will do some walkthrough on our website. So for those that first time with ACAD system, this will be ACAD system website, acadsystem.com. Okay, just type on the address bar here, just type acadsystems.com. So later you will see they will have a lot of information here. So if you want to know more about Autodesk promotion, about Autodesk news, including the price, including the sales, then you can go to here. If you want to join our free online lesson, just click on these free online courses and lesson. Click on topics that you think that really useful, click and register. You can join for free. Okay, so don't forget to go to our YouTube channel, subscribe our YouTube channel, and give some like to our video that you think very useful for you. Okay, so far no question. Okay, so I think there will be for 2 days. Thank you for joining our free online lesson today. So hopefully that later on you can always support a CAD system. And since this will be my last free online lesson for this year, thank you so much. See you next year.